Since January, I've had 4 sales calls, and every single person said the same exact thing. I can't afford it. And here's the thing, I don't believe them. And let me clarify, I'm not calling them dishonest. The phrase, I can't afford it, is usually a protective response from the nervous system. Today, we're going to unpack that. But first, have you been in a situation where you feel like there's just not enough money? Perhaps you're struggling with money because you lack income, but in reality, it's the structure that you lack. If you're a divorced or single mompreneur, I help install a simple system for you to create a savings plan that optimizes your investment, relieves money stress, and helps you build financial confidence so you can have true financial freedom in less than 90 days. You'll know exactly where your money goes and what to do with it and how to make it work for you instead of disappearing. The Wealth Accelerator is a 90-day program. Book your call. The link is in the show notes. So have you ever said to yourself, I can't afford it? You hopped on that sales call and you knew that this was the person that you needed to invest in, or the product, or the course, whatever it is. And then you got to the price and you were like, ugh, face drawn in, jaw drops, that tightness in your chest. I can't afford it. It's often not the real reason. And there's 3 ways to calm your nervous system so you can actually invest in yourself. And I know some of you have been affected by scammers. You've invested in programs and you didn't get the ROI that you wanted. But that's the thing. You could afford it. You invested it in hopes that, and then maybe something else happened, something from your childhood that's dictating your money story today. So the real problem is the hidden fear behind financial decisions. This is what I realized from these 4 sales calls. The real issue wasn't affordability. It was lack of clarity around their pain and urgency. When someone truly connects their problem to a solution, money becomes flexible. We can afford what we desire. When we want something, we will find the money for it. And I'm not talking about those sales calls where you're pressured to buy something. I'm talking about where you initiated the sales call, you met the coach, you went to a workshop, you went to a networking event, and you thought, wow, that person can really help me. And you get on the call and you're ready to go dive in. You tell them on the call, yeah, I'm having problems with my finances. I've been struggling with this for 3 years. I can't seem to grow my savings. I want to invest, but there seems to never be enough money. Well, people will finance cars. They'll buy things they can't afford when the need feels urgent enough. People don't buy when something is logical. They buy when it feels necessary. When someone says, I can't afford it, there are usually deeper beliefs underneath. So here are 3 lies behind I can't afford it. Lie number 1, I don't have the money. The reality is often means I don't trust the outcome yet. I don't trust myself to do the work. I don't trust that this process is going to work. I've tried so many things before. How could it possibly work this time? Money follows certainty. If someone believes something will solve their problem, they find a way. Let me give you an example. Gym memberships, especially in January. Oh, my body's important. My health is important. I need to invest in myself. You sign up for the gym membership, you're dedicated for 3 weeks, and then boom, you stop. What happened to that commitment? And now you blame it on the gym. Oh, the gym was no good, that it's so crowded, whatever comes up. Business investments is another example. You get all gung-ho about the offer. Oh, you see this person being successful, and then you buy without ever researching it or checking in with your intuition to see if it's an aligned fit with what your goals are. Emergency expenses. You build up that account. You have no idea what it's for. And then you believe an emergency happens. And then before you know it, the money's gone. And you tell yourself, I'm no good at holding on to money. The real objection is lack of certainty, not lack of money. If you added up all the money that you've ever had, just the money that you've had this year, from January till now, how much is that? How much money has come into your hands? And if you don't know that number off the top of your head, well, then you need the Wealth Accelerator. My money map will help you see all of your numbers clearly to help you multiply your money. The second lie is now isn't the right time. In reality, we're saying to ourselves, I'm uncomfortable making this decision. I just hired a new coach, and I went through 3 different sales funnels, and I thought for sure I was going to hire this one coach. I was active in the community and I was aligned, but I got on a sales call with him, and honestly, I was like, I wasn't really sure what I was investing in. And I went back to the coaches I had in the past, and when I felt that same way, and I thought, you know what? I am not ready for this container. Let me move on. And I was shocked. I was shocked, one, that I listened to my intuition. And two, I just really thought that this person was the perfect fit. In reality, they weren't. The coach I ended up hiring, I wasn't even familiar with them. But their sales process, their funnel was stellar. And it answered all of my questions, and the testimonies and the process. And when I got on that sales call, she was phenomenal, hitting my pain points and showing me exactly how I can hit my goals when I follow the plan that they customized for me. So I'm uncomfortable making this decision. Growth decisions trigger fear. I get a feeling like in my torso when something is completely aligned. The brain prefers staying where it is, even if it's painful. So logic comes in first, but our body overpowers it because we're receiving the thoughts, and then all of a sudden our body responds. And if our body responds in a way that is saying yes, but our mind, our thoughts are telling us, no, we need to rationalize this. This delay often keeps the same financial patterns repeating. Lie number 3, I need to think about it. The reality often means your nervous system is overwhelmed. Big financial decisions trigger survival instincts. When someone is dysregulated, they default to safety. We all want to feel safe. A dysregulated nervous system will always choose the familiar over the transformational. It'll always scream, fear, fear, don't go down that path. Keep everything the same, don't change. And that's how we stay in that rut or that hamster wheel, whatever you want to refer to it as, is because we listen to that fear. That fear kicks in, tells us no, we never question it. We just go with it because we're so scared that we're going to make a mistake. And when we reflect, if we choose to reflect on our past investments, we're going to remind ourselves of all the ways that we messed up, how we irresponsibly invested in things that did not yield the ROI that we required, that we requested, that we wanted, when in reality, it had nothing to do with the program or the investment, and everything with the person in the pick. Who's the pick? The person in the chair. So the sales lesson that I learned, and I want to be really super honest and reflective here, on those calls, the real gap wasn't price. After all, the Wealth Accelerator is properly priced with an investment of $2,997 for 90 days. It gives you the exact money map to financial freedom. It eradicates debt, eliminates financial illiteracy, and gives you the exact strategy to build true wealth towards financial freedom, and gives you the confidence to make investments that are aligned with your goals. On those calls, the real gap wasn't price. It was not digging deep enough into the pain points. When someone fully acknowledges your problem, the solution becomes obvious. Questions to ask. What happens if nothing changes in the next year? How much is this problem already costing you? What would solving this actually unlock for you? When you can answer those questions, you're going to know whether or not that container is the good fit for you and if that's where you should invest. People invest when they clearly see the cost of staying stuck. There are 3 ways to calm your nervous system that's going to build up trust within yourself so that when you do make the choice to invest, you're confident that it is an aligned choice and will get you the ROI that you desire. So the 3 ways to calm your nervous system before investing, which shifts from sales to personal empowerment, is 1, regulate your body before making the decision. Slow breathing, walking, drinking water, getting out of fight or flight. Grab a piece of paper, draw a line down the center. On the right, put the pros. On the left, put the cons. Listen to your intuition. And let the person that you potentially might invest with know, hey, you know what? I think your programs might be a good fit, but I need some time to process it. You don't need to make a decision right there on the call. Yeah, they're going to give you urgency, but most of them will tell you they got a guarantee offer. You have 48 hours with this price if you pay in full versus whatever. So accept the urgency, but listen to your intuition. Financial decisions should come from clarity, not stress nor pressure. The second thing you want to do to calm that nervous system is to zoom out and think long term. Ask yourself, what does my life look like in 3 years if nothing changes? I had a sales call with a woman around 3 years ago, and she was so afraid to invest in the wealth accelerator. And she kept telling herself, when I make more money, then I'm going to invest. Within that 3 years, she posted several times how she had made $10,000. Again, the program's $2,997. She never hired me, but she told everybody she was going to. What was the fear? She hasn't overcome the fear that she's going to do the work. So when you think about projecting what your life will look like in 3 years if nothing changes, me thinking about this woman, she's still running that hamster wheel. She's still feeling like she's just paying the bills. She still has no money available for savings or investment. So what would solving this be worth? And that's the question you want to ask yourself before you invest. Why? Because the brain focuses on immediate cost instead of long-term gain. And the last thing is to separate your fear from intuition. You guys, fear is so powerful. It keeps us shaking in our shoes, right? You know, that fight or flight response. Fear says, what if I lose money? Intuition asks, is this aligned with the life I want? Listen carefully to which voice you're hearing. So to wrap this up, most of the time when we say, I can't afford it, what we really mean is, I'm scared to invest in change. Growth requires decisions. Yeah, you may have been burned before, but forgive yourself. Stand up, dust off your shoes, and take the plunge to build self-trust. Financial transformation rarely happens without investing in guidance or tools. So the question isn't always, can I afford this? Sometimes the better question is, can I afford to stay the same? If you've been telling yourself you can't afford change, ask yourself what that belief is protecting. The Wealth Accelerator is a place where people break these patterns. You get to change your relationship with money. Because remember, it doesn't matter how much money you have, it's what you do with it.